good morning, dear pupils. After completion of the topic, we are connecting with another what we call examples of critiquing in Constituent Assembly debates. So, how these debates, nothing but the discussion which makes us to understand how the rules and regulations were enshrined, in what manner these are applicable in our daily lives, the future plan in which the vision what they have designed and made all these things. So here, Maulana Hazrat Mohini, he was started opposing of this, the Indian Act of 1935 related to universal adult suffrage. Why the right to vote was not yet given for all, only for few have given, and most of the people who are participated in this also, the number of members were general and common people. So that is what is opposition by Maulana Hazrat Mohini. And after that, Damodar Swarup said, what he was saying means, draft does not adapt to the recent constitution. So whatever the drafting constitution up to now we have discussed, and ironically what we have learned that, but these are not applicable to the present constitution, then what is the use? Things whatever we make, that should be the present and future. So that what it says, the same thing, that at present and the recent constitution, if it is not at the mismatching, then what is the use? That is the thing what Mr. Damodar Swarup said has been said. And Indian Republic, in which a small of autonomous republics, in which what and how the things have to be followed. So like Dr. B.R. Ambedkar is saying that centralization is a good thing. Making the division like federalism, like central and state government is good. That is the argument of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. And coming to the next, Gandhiji, what he was saying means centralization of power leads to totalitarianism. Totalitarianism means total control, like one, again the same what we have seen in the past world wars, like First World War, Second World War. Again the people may show importance towards fascism, Nazism, that he doesn't like. That what he has been made. So such type of centralization of power, it may create a lot of problem, and welding of heart could not be matched anywhere in the world. So such type of things we don't want here. We need such type of, these all are only what we call the critiquing in Constituent Assembly debates. These all are only their opinions and ideas. How they can make the best, how they can make the decision right way to follow systematically, smoothly and fairly in running the government administration machinery. The three important organs, legislative, executive, judiciary, to make the administration fine. So all these are the debates which they have been made clearance to follow such type of rules and regulation. So that all what it says regarding the one, and we need such a type. That should be the vision for bright future, and people should enjoy such type of rights, duties, administration of all the vision which they have to be made, and that will be a good thing. What was their opinions and ideologies of these people, what they have been argued, like Maulana Hazrat Mohini, Damodar Swarup said, and Dr. B.R. Ambedkar and Gandhiji. So that after that, we are connecting to the next the topic, that is what we call examples of debates on fundamental rights. So the drafting committee chairperson, he was trying to make this debate related to one what we call fundamental rights. As you know that fundamental rights, right to equality, right to freedom, right to religious freedom, right against exploitation, right to constitutional remedies. So all these are the one what we call fundamental rights, what you have already learned in lower classes. So here the thing is that on Tuesday 29th April 1947, to Honorable President, who was there sitting in the chair, and not only that, Mr. Pramata Ranjan Thakur sir and S.C. Banerjee sir. So all these are the persons, are the personalities, are the dignitaries where they are sitting over there. And what was the topic they started discussing? The one what we call untouchability. So generally, if you look at the children, what you are going to find in the society, the lineage is linked with one what we call marriage. In the society, the lineage is linked with one what we call marriage, and marriage is based upon caste, and the caste is nothing but casteism. So these are the things how only because of word what we call marriage, how it is going to be followed. And as you know that from the initial we are finding only the four important types of caste: Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Sudras. Brahmins, what were their intention means they were highly literate people. They know all types of Vedas, Rig Veda, Sama Veda, Atharvana Veda. All these are the Vedas in which they know all types of Vedantas, in which what they says means they are the superior in all aspects, literally in literature. Literally in literature they are very superior what they feel. And Kshatriyas, as they make as a warrior class, are protecting the people, are defending the country or the kingdom in the ancient time. That is what they have been given to the second group. Coming to the third, what we call Vaishyas, they are only the trade merchants. Maximum number of people who are only involved in trade are making the work. So such type of impact and importance is only the one, what it says, how they are involved in this. So such type of impact is related to one what we call Vaishyas, and the least and the lower strata what we call Sudras, they are only the one what we call as untouchables. So that was the system which is existing over there in the society, how they were treated, upper caste dominating on lower caste. So such type of caste feeling was there in those days, present days, literally only for theoretically we are saying, but coming to practical, same settlement has been set up. So these are the arguments when they have been made, like past 25 years or more than that, what we are seeing is that they won't encourage, they won't follow that. We say that what according to the constitution, intercaste marriage, the people are not supposed to have the dining with one. System was existed, and not only that, downtrodden or depressed caste people should not have the water in public places. So these things, literally we know, we have seen these all. Practically we have seen, and even few storytelling or serials or movies have also shown us clearly how the days has been come across, how these are the things which has been changed. So that means nothing but what they bear such type of problems, especially related to one, that is what we call untouchability. Here like Sri Rohini Kumar Chaudhary, Mr. K. Munshi sir and Mr. Dheerendranath Datta, these are the people they started arguing the same. This is not, untouchability is not good. This is not based upon caste, birth, religion or language or sex. So all these are the things which they have been made argument. But coming to the real fact, what is that means? Such type of thing should be eliminated. As the days passed, as the years passed, we should eliminate that. Either Hindu, Muslim, Christian, whatever the caste, if you cut only we get red blood. For Muslims, blue blood. For Christians, pink blood. For Hindus, red blood. There is no such type of variations. We all are oneness. We all are unity in diversity. That's what we have to inculcate, and we should have only the one future. That was the argument of this, what we call regarding the word untouchability. So most of them are opposing. In those days only what they said, such type of thing should not be there. That such type of thing should be eliminated, and they have to get equality and justice. But how far we are seeing such type of justice? A question to you. You also have to think that what I am saying and what you are going to make such type of analysis as the present scenario, how these things are making up. Like people are also preferring the same caste. A Christian should marry only Christian, a Muslim should marry only Muslim, a Hindu should marry only Hindu. Such type of things which are existing, and that is following as a custom, tradition and culture. So these all are the things what it is only focusing and highlighting the word what we call untouchability. So these are the things we have to eliminate in the society. And how we can eliminate means when we show equality, justice. So that is what we are talking about, the one what we call fundamental rights. So that it should not be like only up to one extent or only giving priority or importance for one particular caste, or only upper caste to be dominant or lower caste. These are the things should be eliminated. And even the courts and judiciary, when they are talking about this, they are saying seriously, if anyone is going to be follow such type of one, they should be punished. So all these things have to be eliminated, and that word we can say that fundamental rights are functioning perfectly, and that makes us better. So these are only the things, these are the various information given by Sri Rohini Kumar Chaudhary, Mr. K. Munshi sir, and Mr. Dhirendranath Datta. So all these are the things which they have been enshrined in the constitution, making to eliminate such type of untouchability. And Mahatma Gandhi said that untouchability is a crime and sin, and whoever they say that people should be punished as per the law, the courts what they have been given judgment at the present days. So these are the things when we eliminate, then definitely that we can say the fundamental rights are working properly. So that what it says regarding the one what we call debates on fundamental rights. So constitution and social engineering. So up to now, how the drafting constitution, the constitution things which are amended and in what manner, the things which are enshrined, and that what we have learned clearly. So what things we understood very clearly means how the casteism, in which especially related to one word what we call untouchability, which played a vital role in the society in the past, to eliminate such type of things, how these are the things which are dominated, that is what it is describing. Here there in the society, when we see that what was existing means only the one what we call inequality and injustice. Inequality and injustice is existing over there. So that what it is like deprivation, a victim of colonial policies, right from colonial rule, British rule, all these are the things what we have seen. How the downtrodden, how they are making such type of, instead of democratic repressive measures, they made people to suffer a lot. So keeping that all in mind, the constitution framers and all the members who participated over there in that debate, they are making the better and the best to make the things success, especially for the depressed caste. So in that regard, the first Prime Minister of our country, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, was also there, in which talking about the Constituent Assembly, how to represent that. So the first what he was saying means untouchability should be eliminated, it should be removed, and then only that can be made better. And that was the reason, because of these downtrodden people, how they used to suffer a lot, as just now what we have seen in the previous given example. And in this connectivity, that was the reason what they started decided means one or the other way reservation should be granted for scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, and that beneficiary should be utilized in all aspects, like even in education, even in employment, even in politics related to political arena. So why such type of reservations are granted means as they are treated as depressed caste, suppressed caste, they were downtrodden, they are fit for nothing, what people used to think, and for them to encourage such type of things, the Nehruji has been launched, especially related the one what we call reservations. And not only that, keeping in mind as what we have a previous experience, especially related to Nazism, fascism, like Hitlerism, how he has been followed, he opposed all the Jewish and as well as other groups of people like Christians, what he has been targeted. So that should not be there in our country. So due to that, giving importance and priority for minorities also. So that was the reason what we have given permission here, prior permission to what means to launch and establish the one what we call educational institution. Educational institution related, like nowadays we are seeing Telugu medium, Urdu medium, English medium, whatever the language is not criteria, but knowing the education values is important. With that connectivity, such type of importance is also made in this people to enjoy such type of fruitfulness in all aspects and to make their life bright. And the people, whoever they are treated as downtrodden, depressed and suppressed caste, they have to uplift and they have to be equally stand in the society with elimination such type of differences and discrimination. So that all these are the things which they have been made. That is only the one what we call constitution and social engineering. That makes it better to have the future bright. That was the one. Coming to the next topic. The last, to conclude the chapter, let us know how our constitution is there in the present scenario, the constitution today. So as you know that constitution is nothing but a set of some rules and regulations. So in this regard, how the constitution lawmakers they started making or enacting the law. This is very important thing to know. So to make one law, it is not as easy. Either in legislative assemblies or in the parliament consisting of two houses, state legislature, like legislative assembly, legislative council. So unless and until when we are going to take one new law, new enacting the law, we have to take the decision of the people. That is what we call approval. How many of them are ready to accept that, and there and then only we can come to one decision whether it is applicable or not. So like in this same manner, provisions amending the law and the articles, how these are the things which are applicable and how we can consider either for state government or central government, what is compulsory, what is essential, means majority. So if you want to make any amendment, minimum 2/3 of the majority is required from both the houses, like Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So far several times, around about 99 times we have made amendment, making a new procedure to how to enact the law. That means the people, majority of the people should accept that. Without acceptance of that, we can't consider and we can't move forward. So what is essential means the decision of the number of members in amending a new law. That all what it says the constitution today. So that means right from the past to the present stage, what we are doing means as per our requirement, as per our current scenario, how the laws can be amended and in what manner people will get beneficiary. So based upon that, the constitution framers and the constitution makers are going to be make and form. That's what it says. And as you know that, as I already said, the preamble of the constitution, preamble is nothing but the father of the constitution. So there in this preamble, how the words are enshrined, in what manner the words are given here, like the one what we call secular. Secular state means right to religious freedom. It neither encourages nor discourages. Whether you are a Hindu, Muslim, Christian, doesn't matter. All should be treated one. That is what we call equality. Whether you are a Hindu, Muslim or Christian, whatever it is. So all these are only the one what it says equality status. That is what we call secular. And the next word what it has been enshrined called socialist. Socialist is only the one to eliminate the gap between the haves and have-nots, to eradicate the difference between rich and poor, to make such type of equality. This is the another word what we call socialist. Then coming to the next what we call equality. Irrespective of caste, creed, religion, language, sex, everyone should treat oneness. That is what we call equality. Equality status should be given. Neither male or female, whatever it is. So all these are the discrimination should be eliminated and they have to be made. How the balancing should be means balancing should be equal. No any ups and downs. That should not be there. They have to treat equal. That is called equality. And next one is called liberty. Liberty in the sense nothing but freedom. How people can get freedom. That is the word what we call liberty or liberalism. So these all are the words to make the justice should be given clearly, that how people can enjoy such type of rights are the things which they are going to be made in this one. That is what we call about the constitution today. So what are the words which are enshrined here? Secular, socialist, equality, liberty, and that justice should be get for all the people to follow such type of constitution today. And here one of the important Supreme Court judgment, what we call this as Keshavananda Bharati case. So in this Keshavananda Bharati case, what things are enshrined, what things are made such type of one based upon the Indian constitution. As just now what we have seen, how the majority which we are considering and making to follow this case, the important one what we call the Keshavananda Bharati case, in which form of government. So there about the form of government, as we know that we have already learned, whether it is parliamentary or presidential, what type of form of government. A constitutional law student has been questioned, what type of government, what type of constitution. That what we made clear, constitution is permanent, government may change. So the constitution is also designing as per the requirement of the people, the present scenario. That is what we call the form of government. Like India follow parliamentary type of government, USA follow presidential type of government. That is form of government. Next, federal character. Nothing but what it says about dual polity, unitary and federal, like central and state together called concurrent list. So that is one more word which was enshrined in this Keshavananda Bharati case related to one what we call federal character. And not only that, supremacy of the constitution, supremacy, to have the supreme power, the final authority. Constitution has set up or designed in such a manner. And not only that, sovereignty of the nation. Sovereignty in the sense nothing but power, how the power have to be inculcated, in what manner the power should be used. That are what it says regarding the one called sovereignty of the nation. Sovereignty represents what means power. And provision for justice and welfare state, etc. So this is all whatever we are making, any type of government, that should be justicable. Justice should be given equally, as whether the President of India or any ordinary person. Rule is rule, rule for all. We can't break the rules. And that's what it says, especially the one in maintaining and inculcating the one overall welfare. What people are expecting, why people are welcoming democracy, why we need this constitution today means only to make welfare. That inculcates, that includes all the things like joy, happiness, like making tranquility and prosperity. So all these can be made and enshrined. That is the reason these words are enshrined and making us secular, socialist, republic, sovereign, fraternity, liberty, equality. All these words makes us what means to have only the one what we call welfare. So that was the end about the constitution today. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.